Hi, we're a couple minutes late because we have kids and they have to go to bed and disasters happen. So, welcome to our YouTube live tonight. And what is today? The 5th, 6th, 5th
Fifth,
day of Christmas? Yeah.
the 5th of December.
Yeah. So, and this is our fifth video in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're doing the 25 days of Christmas. So we're trying to do 25 travel days of different stuff. So we've done like the eats of the Christmas markets, what to know before you go to London. What else?
It's my
Annoying,
my
annoying Jocelyn with jingle bells.
my video on European washers, which people couldn't kind of believe.
Yeah, there's a
That
lot of
was
comments of people going, "What? The washers aren't the same?" Well,
no, and we'll make a video rather soon about American washers. And as I was doing laundry today, I was just thinking how very very different they are in comparison. I put in our entire king size bed, all of the sheets and the comforter in at the same time. So, yeah, a little bit different, right? And
yep,
you put about four pairs of pants in a European washer.
yeah. So I see that we're finally coming up online. Hey, Johnny Ray's Digital Nomad Lifestyle. That is a long
Oh,
name. Clearwater, Florida. Hey,
Clearwater.
we'll see
We have
you.
family there.
We will see you soon enough down there in Florida, in Clearwater in Tampa.
Yeah. Um, family there. Have we been to Turkey? We will go to Turkey eventually. We've not been there yet. Just haven't made it there.
Yeah, no, we'll get there eventually. Yeah, because this Bowl is definitely a must win there. There's so many really cool things to see in Turkey. I mean, it was. I remember when I used to live in Germany. It's a really popular tourist destination for summer travel, and I never got down there. I did North Cyprus, which is like the Turkish part of Cyprus, but I never got like into Turkey, except for like flying through the airports and stuff like that. So we do have that. So Gabriella, if you want to watch the video on the review, go to your on Compass. You will see
Compass.
on Compass. You'll go on there and it has a learning module for exam 3. On there, it has an entire video of me going through the entire exam review. So you can even watch it like double time, so it's like half as boring because it's twice as fast. So there is that. Hey, Reggie and Herman. Hope you're doing well. Yes,
Hi.
she does look pretty all the time.
Thank you.
So North Carolina. Sadly, I'm not drinking a North Carolina beer. If you're ever in North Carolina, the beer from Asheville, very good beer in North Carolina.
Montego Bay. We are going there soon. I have a really good friend who is Jamaican and she runs a travel company. And so we're gonna kind of check things out and get a little bit of a personalized tour and say things. So very cool. Egypt. Wow.
No, Egypt's going to go. That's probably one place I want to go the most. Of any place we haven't gone yet, we will get there. We're looking that's probably looking at spring 2020 because our 2019 it's kind of getting filled up. We're looking at We've got East Africa. We've got a few trips to Europe. We've got a couple Caribbean trips. We've got a Central American trip. All kinds of stuff like that. So there is that there.
Well, Mark has wanted to go to Egypt for about a gazillion years, or
Yeah.
as long as I've known
Yeah.
him.
So we
So
are going to get that one. So maybe a spring break or a Thanksgiving break or something like that. Try to do a little kind of an off season.
and
So there's that.
a friend of mine is Egyptian and her brother still lives there. And so, again, yay, we get to have some locals kind of show us what's what, and we'll have a little bit of an inside track there. So,
Hey, Arsons, I don't know why it's not there. It should be there if you look through. It was there when I looked on it. If you look there, it's there when I look at the exam 3 learning module. So there is that. So just check up again. But the exam review, go to waltersworld.com, look on the courses. I sent an email with all the review videos, so it's the same thing. You'll be fine there. Don't worry.
Jennifer, so Paris and Rome, I'm going to tell you that Rome you can see. Mark and I actually
Play
jokingly
for a bit. 'Cause we
did
don't have a lot of
Rome in a day. We accidentally got a night train there and it was kind of wild and crazy. But you can see almost every single major site in one day if you don't mind having shin splits and blisters. So get there and see the major stuff. But then both cities, get out and get lost a little bit and just go explore them because they're both really wonderful places to just be and to experience the city and the vibe and the people and history because they're both loaded with history. So have a little bit of time to just be.
Like the Paris and Rome one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because,
no.
I mean, if you've got a few days in each, honestly, they're both cities. You can get the big stuff out of the way in a couple, 3 days, and then just have time to explore yourselves. Hi, Effie. Thank you. And Jose, home was wonderful. It was awesome to be back in Lisbon. We made our favorite little jaunts to crazy places like we go and we see things maybe that some tourists see, but we also go to like the Camp d'Oric park, and our kids love to climb the trees there. That's like a destination for us. So we got to go and visit friends and friends that are like family, and it was exceptional. Thank you.
So, because for those who don't know, my day job, I'm actually a professor. So we have an exam tomorrow. So I told my students they need to pop on here to ask some questions. Amon, I have like 400 videos to explain this, and I went through it on the exam review. But flighting and pulsing. Pulsing advertising is when the company has advertising all year round and occasionally pulses up with more advertising, like at Christmas time and stuff like that now during the holidays. Whereas flighting is they only come in for like a month and they don't advertise the rest of the year. Okay, so I hope that helps.
Reggie, sometimes but not always. There are, the Ryanair
No,
and
express trains. No, it's if you
oh
look. No, you no
just between countries.
between countries, you're better off flying.
Yeah, that's what
Especially
I
if
was
it's a
gonna
longer
say.
distance.
That
Yeah.
do the Ryanair, the EasyJet, Welling, Transavia, all of those are good, inexpensive airlines if you're going between countries. Now, if you're just doing cities, then city stuff is obviously cheaper on a train, on the express train.
Well, it depends where you're going because like the train from Berlin to Munich is insane expensive, but if you can fly down there for a fractional price, you got to compare because
Occasionally.
some places like in Italy, the fast trains aren't too bad, so it just easier to take the train than flying around. But if you're going to go from like if you're going from like Spain to Germany, fly every time. You're going to save so much money that way. So Mexico City, is Mexico City safe? Yeah, it's relatively safe. You do need to be careful. I mean, there's some things you got to watch out for, just like anywhere in the world. It doesn't. Mexico City's not like as dangerous as some people think. When I think Mexico, how dangerous it is. I mean, we're going to be going to Mexico City next year, so and we're taking the kids, so we're not too worried about it. But we're going to be make sure we're paying attention and stuff like that. Hey, Juan from Puerto Rico. I haven't been down there, but Jocelyn has, and she had a good time.
I loved Puerto Rico. It was great. The people were fantastic, and it was just really nice and very laid back, and I enjoyed that very much. I want to address uncommon words. I just had a baby last week. Any kid-friendly destinations? When they're little, to me, everywhere is kid-friendly because we just put the kids in the baby Bjorn, and I mean, you're carrying the food if you're breastfeeding, and it makes life really easy. So don't let that slow you down. And when they get a little bit bigger, at least like in Europe, we found a lot of great little towns or smaller places that have cool amusement parks. Like what's Presellamo's called?
Gardaland.
Gardaland near Lake Como, and that's really fun. And then Sevilla has a really great place too.
Isla Magica.
Yep, there are tons of really great places.
And and the parks in Europe are much more family friendly than the U.S. Like the U.S. ones, it seems like if you're looking at a Six Flags or a Busch Gardens, that's more your kids got to be a certain height, and it's like if they're short, it's not as fun for them. Whereas I think in Europe they do a much better job of making it enjoyable for everybody in every age. Like that's one thing I think people miss out on. And you don't have to just do like a Disneyland Paris stuff. There's so many other things to look out for. So don't worry about that.
But also in general, like we take the kids, I mean, Paris, Rome, London, any of those places can be family friendly if you just remember to take a few minutes every day and let them play in whatever green space you can find. And most decent sized cities have some good places for kids to play, and that makes it a lot easier. So
And also, if you're looking at really kid-friendly places, for example, in Europe, Italy, Portugal, Spain, they love little kids and they have very low birth rates, so it's really special when you're a
yeah.
little kid. I mean, I remember when we were flying in Rome when Liam was a baby, and they're like, "Oh, you come around here, we got special lines for you. I'll carry the baby through." And the women were like, just like,
Oh, and
we
they
didn't see
took
Liam
the
forever.
kids. Well, not like they took
Well,
them
they took it
into
through.
the kitchens of the restaurants
Yeah,
and
it
everything
was a
else,
really
and
good
it
thing.
was
So
great.
for a parent, it's really easy. You get to have some romantic dinners and stuff like that because
Super
someone else is
peace.
taking care of the kids. There's one. I think Adrian was asking me. I've never been to Houston, so I can't say anything from there. So you'll have to help us out with that. We have not been to the Philippines. I'm sorry, chicken choker. So I don't have anything I can really help you with that one. Um,
I would really like to get there at some point. It's just some places are really far, and the times that we can go where we can spend a good long amount of time, the weather is incredibly bad. So the Philippines kind of falls into that, but we'll get there eventually, I promise.
Yeah, so Super Beefs writes, "Hello, quick hi from France. Just so you know, Paris might not be the best place to visit. It's been Christmas this year. Sorry about that. We're doing French stuff. For those of you who don't know, there's been some protests throughout France, but it's gotten a little violent in Paris
It's
about
been
some
rough.
increases in the diesel tax. And apparently they're going to roll back the taxes, but it has been a bit chaotic there lately. So if you're heading to Paris the next couple of weeks, I would definitely keep up, or in France, I'd definitely keep up on the news about that. Don't let that change your opinion of how cool France is. We're going back next year twice,
The awesome
so it's
people.
not stopping us actually buying tickets today to get back there.
Yeah.
So even though there's this, we're still going there.
Saeed, absolutely. Budapest can be done on a budget. I think that Budapest is very, very.
It's gotten more expensive than it used to be,
Yeah, but
but it's
it's
still not that
still
bad.
pretty. It's still affordable. Let's say
Yeah,
that,
it's not. I
right?
mean, there. I think there's more budget options in Prague than there are in Budapest. But you can still do it relatively. Not. I mean, it's not like it used to be where it's a fraction of the price of Germany, but it's still a significant discount from Germany. And you have a good time. And Budapest is a fantastic city. The Terror Museum there is really fantastic to really see what it was like during the communist times, and there's some really cool stuff to see. Probably the coolest parliament anywhere in the world. I mean, it's really kind of cool. Excuse me. I'm trying to get through all these stuff. Someone asked about find the answers for the things. Ask your friends. I went through the entire exam, and also if you look in the exam 3 modules online in Compass, you'll see a video where I go through all the answers on the exam. So there is that. And if you would have come to class yesterday, I went through everything. And if you ask your friends, they have all the answers. Or you look online. Course Hero has all the answers too. So anything you need, it's all out there. So don't worry about worrying about that. Okay. Johnny Ray, hey, we're back online now? Good. Let's see. What are the best Christmas markets in the U.S. from Todd Caesar? We've gone to Chicago's a few times, but what's nice is you're starting to see some smaller towns using like one weekend in early December to make a kind of a Christmas market kind of experience for people. So it's not like in Europe where it's every day and this thing's there. It's more like a weekend kind of thing. Now Chicago's is every day, and some of the bigger cities have that, but like where my grandma and my aunt are from in Carlinville, Illinois, they have their own little Christmas
And it's
market there.
great.
And it's great. It has a lot of the same food, has a lot of the same stuff, but like American versions of things. And it does give you a nice little feel for it. So if you're looking to do a Christmas market, search like small town Christmas markets near me on Google, and it'll help you find some. And you can have a nice time with those. So
Somebody's asking about Crete and how many days should they schedule the
Jocelyn
rest
said to
of
leave.
your life.
I knew you were going to say that.
Um, Spend a couple, 3, 4 days in Hanya and really soak it up. Well, maybe just a couple. I don't know. The beaches are really great there. Herakleon's lovely. And between the two, there's a really great canyon you can hike if you're an outdoorsy sort of person. So that might be kind of a cool thing to do. But I could live the rest of my life on Crete and be quite content.
All right. It's really hot in the summer, just so you know.
It is
And
hot.
anyway,
It's
so
lovely.
Alex 409, what's better to do in Spain, Airbnb or hotel? I'm going for 2 weeks later this month. Alex, if you're staying in one location, I would get the Airbnb. But if you're going to be kind of moving around, like if you're going to do like flying to Barcelona, then go to Madrid, then head down to Sevilla, it might just be easier just to do the hotel stuff, so you have to deal with as many like trying to get the keys and stuff like that. But if it's just one place, I would do the Airbnb kind of stuff. Okay. Let's see.
Tyler asks about being on 50-seat regional airplanes. I mean, what can you do, man?
Well, be more like her size than my size. I'll tell you that right there. Also, I personally like when you get on those ones that are like the 25-seater and they're like, hey, we have to balance out at the beginning. So could you sit in the back, sir? Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're like, oh, okay.
Those are fun to fly in and out of like places like Denver where it's like, really high and it gets really bumpy because the altitude and I don't know, thin air, whatever. And whoo. But you just suck it up and you get through it and you keep going because that's how you got to get somewhere, right?
Yeah. So thank you, Emperor King. I'm glad you enjoy our videos. It's really nice to hear. Sam writes, is Ibiza worth spending a day of my Spain trip? Are you under 25? If you're under 25, yes. Or maybe under 27, yes. If you're over 27,
I don't know. We would have, we,
if you like to have a good time, but the thing is,
it's a
it's a party
place.
place, and it could be a really fun time. But if you're just going for one day, it'd be more like going for one night to have a good time. It could be fun, but I would say watch out for that.
Alex,
Oh, sorry.
Florence, there's so much to see other than just David. If you are an art lover in any way, shape, or form, or you're interested at all in Italian history, Florence is the place to go and see it all. And you could spend so many days there. It's kind of like Paris in that it's just filled with art, and you can spend so much time looking at it. So, how about that? Porgs for life. Expensive. London, yes. Think about going to New York and then put yourself in the UK. I guess that's my best answer. Mark had to run up with Caleb or Liam, and so maybe he will have more to say on that. I don't know. Um, I'm gonna try and read some of these really quick and just see. I'm thinking of Austria, Slovakia, Czechia, Czech, Poland, Central Europe in the spring would be great. And actually, it's a little more affordable than a lot of places. And being that it's spring, you're in a shoulder season. And so your money goes even a little bit further still. So that would be, I think it would be a great thing. And I really enjoy Central Europe. I think that they have great history and, the people are pretty welcoming. We've always really enjoyed our time in Central Europe.
Yeah,
So,
and probably one of the best places.
Peter, thank
Thank you,
you.
Peter Pete. One of the things about Central Europe is you have a lot of really great history museums, like local history museums, because people are proud of their history. Like, I mean, that's one of the things I really enjoy about it. So
How are the boys? Oh, it's been a day,
it's been a
dude.
day.
It's just been a day.
If you have a tween going into a teen, it's one of those days.
I'm having wine. Mark's having beer.
At
The
least
kids
one.
are hopefully sleeping soon.
Now Caleb's like searching through stuff. They're watching them. They're getting ready to watch a movie upstairs on DVD. So
So, Peter,
Nicaragua.
I don't know
So
how much you missed, but there's
we've just been chatting on a very low key energy one, trying to bring the kids down to keep them relaxed. So it's not our usual like oh no, because I don't want to get them like more hyped up.
Lima's in Peru, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, oh, Mia, or MIA 305 from Nicaragua. I absolutely love Nicaragua. I think it's amazing. I can't see now because Mark's messing with stuff here.
Yeah,
Which country in
we're getting
Europe
some
is
nasty comments.
cheapest
So
to live?
cheapest to live. There's cheapest to live, then cheapest is worthwhile to live. Like Portugal's really pretty cheap to live in. Spain's relatively a good price.
Greece.
Greece a good price. If you went to Eastern
Southern
Europe, you can
Europe.
do Eastern Europe. Not Estonia, but like Lithuania and Poland are pretty cheap to live in. Stuff like that. So there is those things.
You call that Eastern Europe?
What Lithuania? Yes. So so D asks, hey, out of curiosity, do you have any tough times dealing with TSA? We both have DSA pre-check, but
DSA?
TSA pre-check, but we don't always get it because that's one thing. It's just because you have TSA pre-check doesn't mean you always get TSA pre-check. So last time we were in JFK flying back from Portugal,
The three of them had it.
yeah,
I didn't.
yeah,
Woo,
the
I
boys
was
got to go
not
through it being
pleased.
like, we'll see you on the side, babe. See you in like half an hour or so.
And then on top of it, we have to walk through
JFK just
like
sucks.
what was it? It
Just
was like
JFK
35
sucks.
degrees and raining, and we had to walk outside. We didn't have our coats because they were in our suitcases. It was awful. Yeah. Jose, thank you.
Obrigado.
Obrigada. Favorite types of subjects, books to read. I read anything and everything. I'm just books are like water for me. So put one in front of me and I will read it. Do you have a favorite thing to read other than the book on the place that we're going to?
Before we go, I just do research. I'm reading about the history. I'm reading about the culture, the food, the people. All I do is research about places we're going to go. And then when I finish filming, and then I get some kind of random book of like, usually like a spy thriller or something like that. Because I'm like, I wanted something completely different than what I've been studying and reading before like the last few weeks, preparing for a trip. So my reading is usually like about marketing because I have the stuff for my classes, and then I have for the place we're going to go to make the videos. So there's that. I'm sipping on some Shiner Bock. For those that are wondering, that's what I have right now. Let's see, what some others. One of my students wrote. I
No,
lost him.
it's down further.
Okay, I'll figure it out. I'll find it.
It's
I'll
right
find
here.
it.
I'll show you.
I'll find it. Help Caleb.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
Dental work, I don't really know. I know a lot of people head down to Mexico to get that done near the border because there's a whole industry of dental places right across the border into Mexico from the U.S., but other places I'm not really sure. I'm trying to find where that student one was. I know she rolled down to that. But there was one I saw, was tween-age holiday ideas. I'm going to tell you, when you're going with your tween on vacation, don't just take them. Like, talk to them about it, have them research some of the stuff so they can get excited about it, so they feel like they're a part of it. Because that's one of the things as tweens, like, we want to be a part of the decision-making process, but we're not there yet. So bring them involved. They're going to be much more happy with it, and definitely plan some time for them. Like when we see a park or something like that, like Caleb always brings one of his like small soccer balls with him, and then he gets to play soccer with kids there and meet friends there, and that's really helps him with that. So just as long as there's some open space and a soccer ball, you'll be fine with that. Oh, I'm a chickenello. I'm glad you love my face. That's so nice of you.
I love his face.
Porks
too.
for life. How to avoid the long lines at Frank House? You pre-book your tickets. That's how you do it. You got to pre-book your
Because
tickets.
otherwise,
that
you're
way.
not getting in.
Yeah.
That's all there is to that.
Sorry for asking. Christian's back. Okay, sorry for asking again, Professor Wolters, but can we see? We can only see module 14. There is an exam 3 module. All right, I'll see if I can unlock that for you because the e-learning people make my life so much fun.
Kaunas is definitely affordable. It is absolutely 100%. Hey, Caleb is standing right here next to us. And someone asked what would be a cool place to take their kid about your age that's not quite a teenager. Is there
He says,
anywhere?
"Oh my gosh!" So, is there any place you liked? Like place you like to go?
Like, what have you really enjoyed? What places have you really enjoyed going to lately? I know Costa Rica was one of them because there was a lot of stuff to do.
And Iceland, you like that?
Yeah, because there was sort of like an adventure, right? But anything specific? Come on, you're helping other kids.
He's a tween. Just
All right.
let him go, Beth.
Go upstairs, lie down, enjoy yourself.
So just, all right. For my students, I'm trying to turn this on to let you guys watch this. So you talk here. Let's show some other questions.
Yeah,
here.
can I see something here real quick?
I'm trying.
Thanks. Okay. Off the beaten path things to do in Prague. So there's an ice bar and things like that. But honestly, off the beaten path in Prague, I like the Jewish quarter is really interesting. But truly, in my opinion, just go about 3 blocks, not even 3 blocks. Go 1 block off the main drags that everyone else is walking on, and you'll find amazing things. I think that Prague can be a really exciting and surprising sort of place, simply because all the people are on these. You feel like you're like with this herd of cattle. Everybody's going the same place, in the same direction, at the same time. Just walk a couple blocks away, and you're gonna find really cool places to eat, and sometimes like different sort of museums and stuff. I also really recommend looking at Atlas Obscura. I haven't actually used Atlas Obscura for Prague, so I don't know off the top of my head what's happening there. But if you like to do things that are a little off the beaten path, we have really enjoyed using Atlas Obscura to find cool and different sort of things to see.
So is there any no winter Christmas experience? Actually, if you head to South America, it's pretty cool to be in South America or Australia where you have like summer, so you can have a nice hot summer, hot Christmas, which is always kind of nice. For my students that were wondering, Christian, thank you for letting me know that wasn't unlocked. E-learning was supposed to unlock all that stuff, and they didn't. I just unlocked it, so please go look in Compass now to see if that module is opened up and let me know. Because it should be opened up now. So thank you for that. But the study guide is on the Wolters World site. That's all available. So you have that anyway. So you're all good there.
Alex, underrated cities in Spain. Mark, I think, would say Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia is really cool. The Art Deco architecture, the Museum of Science there is fantastic. They film all kinds of like futuristic movies there because it is really cool. But I just thought the city was awesome with the beach and everything. Good university, nice people. I mean, it's a really nice like not off the beaten path, but it's off the beaten path because people think of Barcelona and Madrid,
I
but it's
think
really
Mark's put
cool.
it on our list of possibilities to
Yeah, like
live one day.
I would go lecture there. I would go lecture there for sure. Def
Def
Leppard
Leppard.
rules rock. Yes, it does. Hello. Pour some sugar on me. Thank you very much. Some hysteria. Photograph. There's so many good songs from them. Sam F. Wright writes family friendly cities. So pretty much there's tons of family friendly cities wherever we go. We've had family friendly stuff except for Switzerland. They weren't too family
They
friendly.
don't love children.
They did not like children when we were there. And Caleb was a very good kid when he was there. He's a very good kid now, but he was like he wanted to go see museums. People were like you can't bring a kid in here. They wouldn't enjoy this stuff, and he really
I
liked
took him
art at that time.
anyway. I took
And
him to
the Rose Museum or something like that, and
oh,
not in Lucerne.
yeah, it was in Lucerne, in I don't know, whatever. He was really into like,
It was Picasso. He did it in school and stuff.
and he thought it was really cool, and the people followed us around the entire time. Just it was like we had a guide, except for they stood behind us and didn't speak. They just walked around behind us. It was really uncomfortable.
Arson, thank you for letting me know. I'm glad it opened up, buddy. Thank you very much. So sorry to my students that it took so long. And some other stuff. So GS5 King, thank you for all your videos. I just got back from Barcelona Monday and listened to all your videos. Cool. I hope they helped. Barcelona's a really awesome city to visit. We always have a good time when you're there. But Sam writes, in Italy, should we go to Pisa? No, don't waste your time in Pisa. It's a half day to go get this picture. I'm holding the thing up. Go spend your time in Lucca. Go spend your time in Siena. Go over to Ravenna on the other side of Italy. Do that instead. Because Pisa is just such an overrated, not worth it kind of thing. I mean, there's some stuff to see. Yes, you want to go see it.
But you know what? For me, it's like half a day and then get the heck out of there.
Yeah, I mean, really, you get that. There's a couple museums you can see, but I wouldn't make it a base. But the thing is, a lot of the cheap airlines fly into Pisa when they go to Florence. So that might be like, if we fly in, like with EasyJet or something like that, into Pisa, go see the stuff, then just get out.
Kendra, I think that with an 18-year-old, that's not a kid in Switzerland. That's an adult. And if it's just a day trip, actually, it would be nice to go through Switzerland on your way to Italy. I think that's great. So I think that would be just fine.
Joss, hey, I'm glad you had a good time in Cancun. It's always a good time, and all-inclusive can make it really a nice, easy time to go as well. One thing, if you're going to an all-inclusive, they're going to give you alcohol and all that kind of stuff. But if you speak with the bartenders and you're cool with the bartenders, sometimes they give you the nicer stuff than just the cheap stuff, and they'll give you all kinds of really cool backgrounds for Cancun and around there. Really worth chatting with your bartenders, the all-inclusive for sure.
We've not been to Guam, but our friend Tim from high school, he was stationed in Guam for a really long time, and he really seemed to like it. So knowing that he's a pretty intelligent, savvy guy, I would think that Guam's probably pretty cool because I trust his judgment.
Mm-hmm. So Claudia Rivas writes, I think Berlin is a great place to take your kids because there are lots of activities that not involve museums. Yeah, and there actually are cool museums that kids can enjoy as well. Like the Pergamon Museum is really neat to see and stuff like that. But yeah, Berlin's cool because there's a lot of open spaces they can go and have fun. There's some like kid-friendly stuff to do because Berlin's much more an international city versus a tourist museum. Oh, there's tons of museum there, but it's really more of an international fun city to do. So, Jocelyn.
Live to Get Lost. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I wanted to answer Def Leppard.
If I wanted to go somewhere in Asia, how much time off from work would I need? Consider how long it takes to get there.
It depends on where you're going and what your time flip-flop is. Because for me, like when we went to Japan, it really wasn't an awful time switch. I took some some homeopathic anti-jet lag stuff on the way there, and I felt great. And I didn't really have any issues. I could kind of hit the ground running. Like I needed a nap, about 2 hours, and then I could get up and move. But I wouldn't say anything less than a week to spend. But like China was really difficult for us because it's 12 hours. You're just sort of screwed one way or the other when it comes to sleep and things. So that would be my best answer.
The jet lag going to China.
Jet lag. Because it takes you a lot of time to get there, but then adjusting is something that you have to really factor in. And so China's a little more difficult. So that's, and somebody asked about Iceland and needing a car. you can go to Reykjavik, and there are a lot of little tours to different things, and so you don't necessarily have to have one. But I would say we rented one. We drove around the entire country in like 2 weeks, and I think that made it so much richer. And gosh, we got to see some amazing stuff that you wouldn't
Get down here,
necessarily
please.
get to experience if you had taken a tour. So I would say rent a car if you're able to. I think it's pretty worthwhile.
So Live to Get Lost, thank you very much. I don't know if we told you that before, but I appreciate it for helping us out. That's cool. So Marcel Robinson writes, what's the best month to fly to Europe? And also someone asked, when's the time to avoid Europe? Look, July and August are going to be your most packed months and highest price months to go. The best months that I find to go is actually like late April, May, and September because you got good weather, but kids are still in school. So, or they're back in school if it's September. So you can avoid like a lot of the family travel stuff. So that's my kind of go-to times to go. And a lot of times if you're going like late September, October, or early April, stuff like that, not at Easter time, you can get some good flight deals too.
This has to be one of your students. What's your to-go order, your go-to order at Culver's?
My go-to over at Culver's is a double butterburger cheese with ketchup and mayo with cheese curds and a root beer. Duh. Right, Liam? Oh, that's right. Liam gets the cheese curds. I get the French fries. And
then
kind of
they
like
share.
Then we share. Because we're cool like that, right, Chumbers?
Yeah. Hey, Liam, this guy's last name is Bilbo. Do you know how your brother wanted to name him Bilbo? Isn't that funny?
Okay, so Josh Bilbo asked if there's one place in the world you could visit, where would it be? I go to Egypt. That's where I really want to go. And then probably Egypt and Israel, the two places I haven't been that I really want to go. Liam, obviously, who just jumped up like a lot, wants to go to Israel. So we're going to take him there so he can see some cool stuff there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole screen's flipped.
I know the whole screen slipped. That's right. No, we have not been to Easter Island, sadly. And yes, the kids would like to would enjoy the Curryverse Museum.
Currywurst.
Yes. Worst European cities. I would say any place in August because it's just so full. Let's see. Galapagos Islands.
Notoriously worth it or not.
It
You're
is
funny.
really expensive to do the Galapagos Islands. I'm not going to lie to you. You got to do that stuff early. And the thing is, don't do the cheap ones because you're spending so much money to get there anyway and to do it that you pay the money to get the better tours, the worst tours, because it's just one of those things. And they can put it out of reach. It's really great. We loved Ecuador. It was great, but just know that it can put you out of reach. Zach.
Zach Mark's really excited to hear you or
Zach's
see you
awesome.
there.
I love my Zachs. So may the Badham students get a curve on their last exam as a Christmas present. Sure. I tell you what, I'll use the highest score, and whatever the highest score is, we'll curve from that, okay? Which is usually 100%. So there you go.
So somebody keeps asking about Georgia, the country, not the state. We've not been there, so we can't really answer that question. I'm sorry. We got the whole family here.
Yeah,
the dog, the
dog's
kids.
here, the kids here.
Everybody say hey. Hey.
You wanna
Out
say hi to
loud.
them? There he is. So, yeah, so there's that. Of course they know how lucky they are. We tell them every day. No, they're pretty cool most of the time.
Yes, we will go to the UAE. Again, that's one of those places that like it's really expensive for us to get to. So to make it worth our time, we want to go for a long period of time, right? Or to make it worth our money, we want to go for a long period of time. So when do we have a long period of time? Summer.
Yeah, which is probably
Not really looking forward to like 50 degrees Celsius. We just have to figure out how to do it. If a cheap ticket comes
it's
up
over 100, buddy.
sometime in like well over 100, and if a cheap ticket comes up like spring, fall, winter, I'm on it.
Oh, Greg.
But dang, I can't do it. Like for the price we have to pay, I can't just go there for a week. I got to go for a long amount of time. So that's it.
So, hey, so Malcolm, hi, New Zealand, my friends. I was actually talking to one of my buddies who's going to be going down there for about 3 months next year. And he's like, you can come and visit us when we're down there. So we're chatting about that. Don't worry.
Yep. Capri.
Yeah, we've been to Capri. We've been there. Yes, we have had a good time. Many times there. Liam hasn't actually been, but we've gone with Caleb. We've gone with ourselves and stuff. So it's a very nice time to go there, Joven. Guatemala, we'll get to Guatemala. I think that's...
This year or next
No,
year?
it's next year.
It's coming up.
It's coming up. We have it on there because we're getting to Belize and I think El Salvador this in 2019. So Guatemala will be 2020.
Donor kebabs.
Are awesome.
There's nothing in
Awesome.
our world that is better than
Awesome.
donor kebabs.
That's
Except
right.
maybe Jingle Bells.
Yes, and donor kebabs. Donor kebabs with jingle bells on them would be the best. So anyway, Gabriel Traveler. Gabriel Traveler's a nice guy. If you're looking for like how to like see what it's like walking the streets, he does a really good job with that on his videos. Also talking about like how expensive places are and like showing you the things. He does a really good job for that. So and he was just over there. Actually, a lot of travel blogs have been to Georgia recently, so there is that. Def Leppard writes again, thank you. Is there an element of terrorism in Denmark making it a major problem there, or are they just random attacks recently? The State Department are vague. I think you'll be fine in Denmark. Basically, any of those things, maybe in Copenhagen, pay more attention, but nothing too bad. And if you're in tourist areas, you should be fine. Just like anywhere else, there's certain parts of our town we don't go to either. So I mean, in your towns too. So that's what it's more for. And they have to give you some warning because that's their job to let people know. Jocelyn Mark, me and my dad are thinking about going to Doha in Qatar. Well, I know the World Cup's heading up there, and there's some people that aren't happy with how people are getting treated in the building, the construction of the stuff. But I've never been, so I can't tell you. I have no personal knowledge of there, so I'm sorry. Okay. Hi to cute kids. They say hi, and they will tell you they don't like Disney. They like Universal Studios, D. So there's that. Yep. Jeremy cites other than Dublin, what Irish cities are worth visiting. Kilkenny. I really enjoy Kilkenny. Kinsale in the south, just south of Cork. You don't need to stay in Cork. Go stay in Kinsale. That's really nice when you're there. Galway's a cool place to go. Galway's a really cool place to go to. Jeremy Sites, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate that very much.
Zagreb. You've been to Zagreb, haven't you?
No, I've been to Zagreb. I've been to about 15 other places in Croatia.
Sorry, we've been to a lot of Croatia, just not.
Oi, Daniel, do Brazil. Hola.
Hola.
Pula's nice. We like Pula. Pula's cool. They have that's where
the cool
Coliseum is.
Coliseum.
Right there on the things.
That's where Two Cellos played. Ooh.
Yeah.
I would love to see them.
So Cordy asked if terrorism ever influences where we go. It is something that it gets in our mind, but we also try to look at it in terms of how likely does it to happen and stuff like that. So we always do take care. So sometimes we don't go to certain areas because of that, or we'll wait. Or if we see that it's a random attack and then no one's going there, like we spent in 2016, we spent a lot of time in France trying to show people that it's still safe to visit France when there's all those attacks, because we've had so much fun in France and so many wonderful people have shown us such good times in France. Yeah. We would try to help support them to show go here. It's kind of like when also 2016 went to Brazil when there was all the bad press with the Olympics and everyone's like, no, don't go to Brazil. It's horrible. You're going to get killed and stuff like that. And it was fine when we were there. So we try to show some places that are really safe. That like
be aware.
Those things. Randall McNair, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm glad you love our videos. It means a lot when you guys help support us like this. And if you're looking at some other stuff, we actually did a video and a blog on some really cool gifts for Christmas, gifts for travelers, and that's that woltersworld.com/shop. There's all kinds of stuff down there. The books we use, the backpacks we use, all the kind of stuff. So everything on there we actually have. So if you're looking for some gifts and stuff like that. Alex49's asked a few times about other travel bloggers you guys recommend. There's a lot of different people out there, and it really depends what you're looking for. Like I said, Gabriel Traveler's a nice guy. He gives you a lot of like the nuts and bolts stuff. Way away, they're Josh and Ashley. They're just they're exploring around. The Flying the Nest, I like them. They're really cool because they're like Josh and Ashley. They're giving like, here's our experience doing it, and here's some tips while we go, and they're really nice about it. So I've really enjoyed them too. Endless Adventure, they're a nice one too. And then there's the old standby ones like Hey Nadine, she has some nice her advice videos are helpful if you go back for some of her older videos and things like that. She has some nice older like packing videos and rookie, like I really like her rookie mistakes video that helps out new travelers and stuff. So there is that. Let's see, upcoming trips. We got all kinds of trips coming up. I mean, we've kind of rough idea what all of next year is going to be. Like we were saying, we got a few trips to Central America, the Caribbean, Europe. We've been to Europe a couple times. We're going to be like France and Austria, and I'm going to be teaching in Europe again. And then we're going to be going to East Africa, and we're looking at possibly in Asia or our Australia, New Zealand for the end of the year kind of stuff, and and we're trying to get to the Middle East. There's a lot of stuff we're going for. So sometimes it's hard to like finally narrow it down. It's like this is what we want to do, and then we got to kind of figure out when it works with our time frame, because we can't get to every place we want to go every year, because I have a job and I have to pay the bills and stuff like that. So that's why some people don't realize that Wolters World's actually a side job. I'm a professor during the day. That's why some students have been asking questions about an exam because of that. So there is that. Let's see.
When you were in Australia, did you come across any dangerous spiders? Don't answer that, because if you did, I don't need to hear it.
I don't think so, but I was like 15, so I wouldn't have known anyway. It was a different time then. There was nothing dangerous in Australia in the 90s. It was a safe country. There was nothing wrong. All those dangerous things that try to kill you that you see on TV. Fake news. Fake news. All the kangaroos, they serve you tea and crumpets. Yes, Universal Reaper. We are interested in going to Istanbul, Turkey. We will get there. It's a must. Are we going to Oregon? I felt really bad because I was in Vancouver and Seattle with a friend of mine. Oh, yeah, and he wants to see banana slugs. So we will go to show Liam banana slugs. I have a companion ticket. I'll go take him there to go show him for him. So there's that. Which country has the best beer? Oh, whichever country I'm in with beer usually has the best beer because I'm drinking it. Let's see. So Beachbound Betcher writes, I'm just starting with travel vlogging. What are your tips to getting started and getting a little following? I would say is figure out what you want to know about travel. Like that's where we started, because I got tired of the blogs and the vlogs just telling me all these happy-go-lucky things, which wasn't true. I wanted more truthfulness in the blogs, and so we started doing all of our honest travel advice, and that's where it kind of evolved from there. But whatever you like to do, kind of focus on that, and realize there's other people that are like you that can enjoy similar kind of things, and go from there. And don't try to just make it, I'm going to be in my, I'm going to do backflips all the time. That's what people are going to like, or I'm going to show my sexy muscles all the time. The thing is, if you do that when your muscles aren't sexy, or you're other people doing backflips, what are they going to be watching? So try to figure out what you want to do and how you can help out. So there is that. Let's see. European. Have I ever been to the islands?
To live and why?
What?
I'm looking to move abroad for a year. Do you have the top 3 places to live and why?
No. No. PewDiePie got like 500,000 extra subscribers.
Okay, so top 3 places to live. So for me, it's Hanya, because ours are based on universities too, but Hanya, Paris, and Rome would be my top 3.
Place to live if money doesn't matter. Yeah, Paris and Rome would always be on my list.
And Hanya.
Yes, Hanya, Greece is on my list. Anyway, no, but if you're looking for a place like retirement kind of stuff, like the Costa Ricas, we actually like Nicaragua a lot. There's some stuff there that's really worth enjoying. So there is that. Cordy asks, hey, yeah, I don't follow Instagram type travelers. I want the reality. Yeah, that is one thing. Joss and I did a few funny posts on Instagram when we were in Wales about the influencers, and like I'm the travel Instagrammers. I'm like, oh, yeah, take a pretty picture of these things. They take pretty pictures, but they don't help you explore. And it's like it's like when it's just them at the Eiffel Tower, just them on the Great Wall of China. I'm like, that's not real. That doesn't actually happen. That place is always totally packed.
I just joined Instagram. I'm not a very good Instagrammer, I don't think.
Oh, you're fantastic. You'll beat me anytime.
But like, I'm not like good at all those hashtags and all that good stuff yet. But I take pictures of what I really love, like. But I also went to art school, so I'm always looking at like architecture and art and things like that. So, anyway, Anonymous Automaton, you have 2 passports. Have you heard of this? Well, I have friends who have 2 passports. Make sure you go in and out of the countries on the same passport. Don't be farting around with 2 of them and coming in on one and exiting with the other. That would probably end up in some trouble at some point in time. Hey, go dogs, Joey. Go dogs.
So favorite place in the U.S., Johnson would say? Favorite place in the U.S.?
Savannah.
Exactly. It took you long enough to say that. Crazy woman. Other things.
I was distracted by our child playing with tinfoil over there.
Yes, it's like, oh, flashy. So Nick from a native New Yorker, don't do New Year's Eve at Times Square. Seriously, not worth it. One thing I will say, Times Square, even though you're a tourist, you should still go there. Maybe not New Year's Eve because it's crazy, or could go because it's crazy. But you should go there just to see it because it's truly an experience to go to Times Square with all the tourists. Not don't eat there and stuff like that, but I mean, seriously, it's like, wow, it's touristy. And there's tons of tourists here. That's what makes the experience of seeing those things.
Reggie, that's awesome. Is it about where you go or who you're with? Both. I mean, I always enjoy being with my family, but that is enriched by the places that we're in sometimes, you know? I mean, we've had like, okay, so we were in Morocco and Morocco was fantastic. The colors and the sights and the sounds, it was lovely. But what made it awesome was the kids playing soccer with the kids next door and just, you know, I mean, just all of us being together. And every night we sat down and we had dinner on the roof of our riad. And, you know, so it was both things. They just heighten one another, right?
Yeah. So Defiance asked, "Do you?" Well, one person asked if we were going to go to Belarus. I've actually been to Belarus, but it was before I made the videos. I actually have a student from Belarus that's heading back to see her family over break. So, hi, mama in Privyet, mama in Belarus. Another person. There was one I wanted to
I
look
wanted
at.
to answer this one by
Defiance.
Revealed Magic.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, so get off the resort, go into
Okay,
Cancun.
first you gotta let them know what you're talking about.
Okay, Revealed Magic says they're going to Cancun and they rarely leave the resort. Any recommendations? We found the best food just like walking around town, and yeah, get out of that resort. That's not reality. It's a lovely bubble to be in. But
Yeah.
like when you get out there, Cancun's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza is where you want to go. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world
Yeah.
now. But if you are going to be staying in one of the all-inclusive resorts from there, talk to the workers. Say, hey, even if you're in the all-inclusive, giving you all the food, ask them, hey, what's the local food that you have here? Because they'll probably say, look, everything here is like not local, but there's this one dish that is. Make sure you ask them so you can at least try that when you are there. Another person asked, hey, Mark, do you guys, do you base your, or this is Defiance, do you base your trips off of cheap flights you happen to find, or do you pick the destinations first? Actually, it's a combination of both. Like sometimes we find like great deals, like we've got to go here.
Like the Japan thing. We wanted to go to Japan,
And
but it
then
was always like that thing. It's really expensive, and we didn't necessarily have a long period of time to go. But we found that really super cheap flight. We were like, "Heck yeah, let's go!" Right?
Yes, and that'll influence. And a lot of times we'll ask our fans where they want us to go. So we've gone to a lot of places our fans have asked us to go. I know we're going to Chicago soon because we asked where should we do like a weekend away, just the two of us. And so our fans voted for Chicago, so we're heading up there for that. And so see, she's really excited. Can you tell? A weekend with Mark.
Sorry, I'm tired. I had a really long workout today.
Anyway.
Oh, you're going to Havana. No, tell us, Matthew, please tell us how it goes because Mark and I are going there for our honeymoon.
Okay, so yeah, we haven't gone on one yet, so there'll be that. So Lily Hamill writes, if I have a 4-hour layover in London, is that enough time to see Big Ben? You're not going to see Big Ben because it's under construction for the next few years. That's why I've been putting in my London videos I've had lately. I've been putting in old footage I filmed of Big Ben, well, the clock tower Big Ben's the bell inside, which people always like to point out. But you're not going to see it, so don't worry about that. And the 4 hours, if you're flying into Heathrow, I mean... You're so close; it's gonna be tough to get anything. If I like, when I would
risk it on 4 hours.
Like if you had a 6-hour one, you could get in, see something, and come back out. On like the Heathrow Express or Gatwick Express.
4 is real tight.
But 4 is a bit too tight because and then you have to go through security again and stuff like that. So be careful with it.
What destination have you traveled to that surprised you the most, and why? I got an answer.
Go ahead.
Grenada, Nicaragua.
Oh yeah.
I had no expectations. I mean, just none. And that town is beautiful. The people were amazing. I actually put Nicaragua on my list of places we could retire to. So that was definitely it for me.
So when I asked what airlines we like to use, right now we use Delta all the time. We just really enjoy them. And there's some other nice airlines out there, but Delta's who we've been using. They don't pay us to say that. We just fly with them all the time. We'd love for them to pay us to say that. Hey, Delta, if you're out there, feel free to pay us to say that. But no, we
Yes,
really
please do.
please do.
Pay me in free flights.
Yeah, we never get any sponsor deals. Like I see a lot of the Instagrammers and the other YouTubers get a lot of sponsored deals and free trips and free hotels and places put up. And we don't because we do all the honest stuff. We try to make it like, look, this is the good and the bad. And so if we're gonna go someplace, we got to let people know. And they're like, no, they want a commercial, not a review. And I don't think
we don't do commercial.
We don't do that. So we have those things.
Hang on. There was one I wanted to. Oh, best hub airports to fly. So we don't always have that choice, but I do love Atlanta, and I'm really grateful that Delta's hub is Atlanta because coming into and out of the country in Atlanta is the most seamless process I've had in the United States.
Yeah, JFK is just a.
And Chicago, O'Hare makes me want to bang my head against a wall. I think
we'll actually pay more money not to fly through O'Hare.
It super sucks.
Yeah.
But Atlanta makes things seamless. I don't love going in and out of Charles de Gaulle. I don't mind going out of. I don't like coming into when I have to then switch somewhere else.
Yeah, because if you're flying into Charles de Gaulle and you're going to be switching from a non-Schengen, i.e. outside of Europe, into an inside Europe basically flight, you have to get your passport checks and stuff like that. And they never have enough people check. It's like they have like 2 or 4 people checking for thousands of people that have to go through. And there's always someone that's on break. And so that line can take you hours to get through, which is really a pain in the...
It's really difficult.
Yeah. So
but if you're going to Paris and just staying there, it's no big deal,
yeah, like
right?
what we'll end up doing is we'll fly in like via Amsterdam and then go someplace. Then we fly out. We'll actually just fly out of Paris. And then it's no big deal. Then you're fine.
Yeah.
So...
Or just stay there for a little bit, you know?
So Anonymous Autonomous, what's the most boring state?
I love Connecticut.
Nice.
Joe Rogan, that's not nice.
Yeah, no,
I love
Connecticut's
Connecticut.
real nice. There's some nice stuff there. They have a dinosaur state
Good
park.
friends there too.
Yeah, they have good beer in Connecticut too.
Pretty fantastic.
And the food.
Yeah.
You can
Good
eat well
food.
there.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we went through the best and worst airports just now, Sally. So we have that. So it's like Walmart. Yes. Which is cheaper to fly into, Brussels or Amsterdam? Amsterdam because it's a hub for KLM. So you'll get cheaper flights via Amsterdam than other places. Like we'll find good deals for there. Like was it last year? You and Joss.
I went Comfort Plus, so like not first class or whatever, but the next one down for $400 round trip from Indianapolis to Amsterdam and back. And for $400, I can't even fly to Florida for $400.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's fantastic.
So
yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Do it.
Okay, so Kendra Coker writes, layover in Boston 11 hours before flying to Ireland. I'm history of what should I do when I go there. Awesome. In Boston, there's a red line you can follow that'll take you around to all the really historic sites. You'll have plenty of time to do that. But just know the Boston Airport Logan just sucks. Don't ever rent a car from Boston Logan, by the way. Anyone. It is the most worst. It's
hours.
People. It's horrible.
There were like 7 people in front of me. It took me an hour and a half to get not even to get a car. And I'd already pre-booked the dang thing. It was, Lord. It's terrible.
So,
Alex Whittick, we have a couple of.
Do you have any recommendations for inexpensive post-graduation city hopping in Europe? Yes.
Yes.
You got to tell them what they're writing.
Well, I know, but I wanted you to answer it, not me.
Oh, okay. So he was asking what are some good places for post-graduation because a lot of students they graduate and do their backpacking through Europe thing. I did it. I did it with my brother when he graduated. Sure, we'll do it with the kids and make them do it.
Doing it.
I just keep doing it every year for 20 years now. But one thing I'd say, if you're going there, I have a video on first time in Europe travel itinerary, which is basically like flying to London, then go to Paris, go over to Prague, down to Rome. Use that kind of path. That would be my recommendation to do that. And there's plenty of places to stop along the way, so you'll do a good time for that. Oh, Def Leppard going to see Iron Maiden in September. There is one part of the city you should avoid, which won't be a problem because there's no reason to go there. So you'll be fine. I think I mentioned in the don'ts of Vancouver video if you check that out. But overall, Vancouver, I mean, bring your stuff to do outside nature stuff when you're there and charge up your bank card because it's a little pricey there in Vancouver. Emperor King, Mark, when you went to Russia, is it hard to get into Russia? No, you just have to go through the visa process, which is a pain in the butt, but it's not impossible to do that. If you want to do there's a cruise, if you just want to do St. Petersburg, you can go in that you don't need a visa, so that can be something for 72 hours. But in general, it's not as bad as people make it sound, so you can be okay there.
Best country to spend Christmas in. Germany.
Germany, because of Christmas markets.
So
One thing
perfect.
but I will say one thing. Austria is also nice.
Austria is too. Yeah, and you can go from one to the other.
yeah,
And Strasbourg, France. Why
Yeah,
not?
Strasbourg, France too. One thing I will say though, if you're going to be going for Christmas time, the Christmas markets in Germany, especially in smaller towns, finish on the 23rd of December. So if you're thinking, oh, kids get out of school, we go like the 22nd, 23rd, and then we'll spend Christmas and New Year's going to the Christmas markets. Unless you're like a big city like Frankfurt or something like that, most of them are going to be closed, which sucks because it's the small town ones that are really great.
Anonymous, you're cracking me up with that Rick Steves thing right there.
Rick Steves loves his Forbidden Herb. Yes, he is all about that. He is all that. They were, I don't know.
Amsterdam is amazing, and the Anne Frank House, yes, is very moving. But make sure you get those tickets well in advance.
And because you can book them online for a future one, because you might be online and they'll be like, "Sorry, we're done," and you might wait there for hours and still not get in. So I do hate that. Oh yeah,
somebody was asking me about the Oyster card. Where'd that go? Mark, you're better versed in this, but is the travel pass better than an Oyster for a couple days?
Well, the Oyster card you'll max out at like 8 or 11 pounds or something like that. So that doesn't worry too much. If you have a contactless credit card or debit card, you can just use that to get in, which is nice. Yeah, but either way, you're okay. And because you have to put a deposit down on your Oyster card to get your money back when you turn it back in. But if you have the contactless credit card, just use that. You'll be fine. But make sure you tap out, and they max you out like 7 pounds a day. I can't remember what it is, but so you'll be okay there. Mark, what's the best beer you've had outside of the U.S.? That's the Halkbier, the smoked beer in Bamberg, Germany, which tastes like pork rinds.
No, it tastes like bacon.
Bacon
beer.
Yeah, bacon beer. And the first time I had it, I had like the big beer, and I didn't like it. And then I got halfway through and go, I like this. And then by the end of the first one, I'm like, I love this. And so that's my favorite one I have. So I like to go back to Bamberg and have that with the white sausages and for breakfast, and sausages and mustard, sweet mustard, and smoked beer for breakfast. Why not?
Malcolm, nonstop to Japan was my longest flight. I don't know how many hours it was. It was long. Nonstop to Japan.
Oh, mine was L.A. to Sydney. That was a long flight. And I was in the middle.
Anonymous, I don't like to fly. It's not my thing.
So just so you know,
I have to do it.
Just so you know, our children are sneaking ice cream bars upstairs it's food, not ice cream. They've been like just going back and forth because since we're here.
Jennifer, the City Museum pass for the Louvre a must. Yes or no? If you're going to go to other museums, I would absolutely get the museum pass.
If you're only going to go,
but if you just want to go see the Louvre, if you just hop online the night before and get your tickets and you pick a time, you just walk right up and go right in. You might have to. I think we waited like 15 minutes. One day, and I think I picked a time like 10 o'clock, and I booked him at like 7 when I woke up that morning, which, was a little bit late. But anywho, they're not if you're just going to the Louvre, but...
Those city passes, they're more for a convenience thing, because a lot of times there's a separate line if you already have the pass. So sometimes it's a time saver thing that you don't have to get in line to buy the metro tickets again and stuff like that.
Eli, you need an adapter with 2 prongs.
Hey. Eli, I'll make it easy for you. Go to woltersworld.com/shop. You scroll down. There's a dual fire one you can see right there.
And it's super helpful
that'll work for Europe, like mainland Europe, and also it has one that'll go for the UK if you're going to go there. That's what we use, the dual fire one. So you want to check that out. And if you look on our like adapters or plugs in Europe, Wolters World on YouTube, we have a whole video explaining those things.
D, my friends who ski say Switzerland is the best. We don't ski, so I can't really tell you.
Yeah, because I only hurt myself when I ski.
Good night, Kendra, elementary school teacher, bedtime listen, sister. I'm right there with you.
We hear you. We hear you, Kendra. You have fun time with those kids tomorrow. Thank you for educating the youth of the world. We really appreciate it, because I know how tough it is to educate. So thank you so much for that. Alex is asking about the Alex409. Do you recommend visiting the favelas in Rio? No, I don't, because it's like you're treating people like they're in a zoo kind of thing, and they're normal people. So I would not do that. Would you ever go to the illegal areas of the Paris catacombs? No, because if I got lost, I'd be kind of scared. I've been down there a few times. It's cool to go. Just stay on the free one.
Sauce, we don't have a priority pass for airport lounges, and we travel a lot more than 4 times a year. So I'm gonna say no. It has come in handy when we've had like a really long layover or a flight got canceled or something like that, and we've been able to pop into one. But that's based on our we fly too much status. Not we don't pay for the airport lounge thing. But if you've got a super long layover, it's great because there's food and drink and things in there that are on the house.
And
So
sometimes it's better to pay the $50 or $40 or whatever to just do it that one time when you got those long layovers.
yeah,
So Universal Reaper, Auf Wiedersehen. Have fun in Hong Kong tomorrow. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.
I'll feed the same.
Auf Wiedersehen. Not been to North Korea. Not going to North Korea. Sorry. What's your career backgrounds? I'm a marketing professor.
My background's in historic preservation and architectural history.
So Patrick J. Wells, favorite German city town during the holidays. If you can go to the Harz Mountains, Quedlinburg and Wernigerode,
Wernigerode.
because there's no like fast train from Berlin or Hanover or whatever to go there, so you got to take like the regional train.
It's only a couple 3 hours.
Yeah, but the thing is like it's only German tourists that are there, so it's like really still like legit old school stuff. That's my favorite one.
Lovely. And secondarily, Bamberg.
Yeah,
Don't you
Bamberg's
think?
great too. That's where the smoke beer is. We've spent
Yeah.
Christmas
spent
there
our
before.
Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
really
and
great.
Caleb was so excited with his Spider-Man that Santa Claus brought him. He was kicking his legs when he was like 2, 3, and just nailed me right in the. And I just somehow I fell faster than he did because I still remember that because it still hurts. Anyway, ever been to Egypt? No, that's where I really want to go. So there is that. Would I ever go to
Oh.
Nashville again? Yeah, I'd go to Nashville again. My buddy and I have talked about driving down there. It's only about 6 hours from where we live.
Answer Calvin
So
right here.
so hopefully we'll go down there for some fun times because Nashville's a fun city. I think
It is fun.
people kind of throw it's Tennessee. It's just it's country music. That's it. I'm like, dude,
So
Nashville
cool.
is so much more than country. It's like it's got great
It's a good
food. It's got
time.
great music. It's got great stuff. At a good time. So Calvin writes, hey guys, love the channel. I was wondering if you could make any suggestions for 30 to do for a family or 3 that have 2 14-hour overnight layovers in Tokyo in March. Wow.
We feel you, man.
I
But
would
you know
look,
what?
I
We
would
love
look at,
to do those because you get out and you go see the town. I'm sorry, totally.
Yeah, I would-
interrupted. I mansplained you.
It's okay. I'm fine. One thing I would say to look for in that, if you have, depending on how the flights are set up, try to get so the kids are sleeping on the flight there. Then you can go do some stuff. If you're getting in the evening, rent a hotel room, get a good night's rest. Even if you're not sleep, but at least you're like not.
You have a bed.
Yeah, you have a
Just
bed.
have a bed
Because
and
we
a
had that
shower.
when we flew back from China. We went through Helsinki, and we had like a 14-hour layover. It was like we got in at like noon, and we left the next morning at like 6 in the morning. So we like went and saw the city, then went back to the hotel, slept till 5, and then went to the airport and flew out. So that would be some things. And Tokyo's got enough stuff that you can go explore and do things, which is fine. Hey, Kayla from Arkansas. Nice to hear from you. Julia writes, what's the hardest thing about traveling with kids? Actually, I would say the hardest thing to travel with kids is actually being the parent because you're always, you actually, it's harder for you than it is for the kids. The kids are fine. I think a lot of people don't realize it's not the kids that have the problem when we travel, it's the parents that have the problem.
I think it's disciplining our kids when because here's the deal. They're bad sometimes. Sometimes they
our
behave
children?
badly.
Never.
And you can't, you can stick them in timeout, and God knows we stick our kids in timeout in all sorts of places.
I've had remember that old lady in Portugal? Oh man.
Oh, she reamed you, man.
Caleb was having he was like 3. And he was having a holy fit, and we're like, "No, you're gonna sit here."
But it wasn't warranted.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were just, it's like
just being ugly.
he just needed to like chill out for a sec. And this lady comes over to me, "How dare you do that?" I'm like, "I didn't spank him. I
all
didn't
you
do
made him
anything."
do is sit on a step.
Yeah, I'm like
for 3 minutes.
Yeah, you just got to relax. And then,
So-
but it was
That's the hardest thing because you discipline your kids. You have to do something. And so you do what you do, and then it's different in every country. Social and cultural norms are different about that. And so people get really ticked off, and you're just like, well, it has to be done. You can't allow your kids, especially for us, because our kids are, gone 4 months out of the year. So it's really important that we keep our expectations the same all the time. And so I think that's the hardest part.
So go for God. German Christmas markets. Yes, they are definitely worth doing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely worth doing. Some other ones. So someone asked like the nicest people in Europe, and you're gonna find nice people everywhere, and you're gonna find jerks everywhere, just like anywhere. Just have a heads up for that one.
Zia, absolutely. We have been through the Blue Ridge Parkway, and it is lovely. It's lovely.
Jocelyn almost
anytime
got
you're there.
Jocelyn got swept away by one of the creeks, one of the natural waterfalls things, and natural
Yeah,
water slide
That
stuff.
that was fun.
Kayla's playing with the makeup.
Oh my
Yes.
God, he looks like somebody. Come here. Come on, show
No,
people
just-
what you did. It's pretty funny. He takes my makeup
No,
and
not makeup. It's markers.
oh, it's markers.
markers.
Oh, I thought you did that with my Halloween makeup.
No, this is markers.
So
He's
actually,
gonna
you're
do
doing-
makeup
you're pretty good.
movies, movie
doing pretty
makeup.
good there, buddy.
He looks like he got beaten to death.
So what do we do? Erin wants to know what we do for a living. Like I said before, I'm a marketing professor, and she's the queen of the house,
Yeah,
of my world. So we have that. Anyway, we got to get these kids to bed because they're
terrible.
acting a little crazy. So we want to say thank you to everybody. Greetings from Oakland. Hey, yes, we
go
will
to
get to
bed.
Southern Africa. We'll be all kinds of places. Don't worry.
Oakland.
We want to try as much as we can see. You don't need too much France in Paris. And yes, you can enjoy China just knowing English. Though
Turkey.
just know you'll just point and go, I want that, and that's be fine. Anyway,
That's what we all do.
I wish you all the best. Have a great time traveling. Yeah, and only answering PC questions. What, I'm not talking about dope or something? I don't know what the PC questions I missed were. But anyway, hope you all have a great time traveling. Thanks for staying on here. We will have, actually, during the 25 days of Christmas, we will be having a YouTube Live every week. So we'll have another YouTube Live next week to chat around. But we got to get the kids to bed tonight. So thank you very much, everybody. Good night from Sydney. Good night,
Night,
everybody. Thank you
Sean.
very much. We'll see you later.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.